Yeah, man. What's going on? What's going on, man? I want to
Yo,
thank everyone for tuning in to this second episode of the Mental Vault podcast. I'm your boy Joy the Architect. I got my man Ant Wibby.
yo, what up?
What up, man? How was your weekend, brother?
Man, the struggle, man. I saw like 3 hours of fireworks with the fam, not celebrating that bullshit ass fourth, man. The fourth is done. I heard some people say they got more happy fourths from black people than white people, any other race. So, we definitely getting that shit out the way for Juneteenth, man.
Yeah. I was reading certain posts where people were like criticizing others for like having barbecues and some get-togethers. I don't think that we should lose like the actual spirit of the Fourth of July
Yeah, you still can
holiday.
celebrate with family and shit, kick it, yeah.
Yeah, but and I mean even with the fireworks. I mean even the fireworks really symbolizes like America's independence, quote unquote. But it's like it's not really for us. You know what I'm saying? And it may take a couple years. You know what I'm saying, for that to kind of get out our system all the way. You know what I'm saying? And just really kind of rep something that's like what I'm saying better. You know what I'm saying?
Juneteenth, man.
No
Like them
doubt.
fireworks on Juneteenth. That's our
Yeah.
Independence Day, for
Yeah.
real.
And I mean, like we talked about on the last episode, every day should, what I'm saying, every day, every week should be Juneteenth something, in terms of, what I'm saying, giving props to all, what I'm saying, black owned businesses and just like
Definitely.
doing right with each other, you know what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
everything, and look, everything's not going to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing that we need to do is stay focused because the media is going to try to, divide us and they're going to try to point like the small things out. So let's say if we're having like a dispute on something, and they'll immediately jump to, oh, well, see, these guys, they're not organized. These guys, they're not,
And quick to point
they're
out
not
shit.
on
Hell
one.
yeah.
But what any race, any movement, you're not gonna have 100% agreement all the time. That doesn't even make sense.
But I should get microscope though. Like it get ostracized for the public.
Yeah,
All the shit.
no doubt, man. So, I mean, I ain't really, man, I work. I mean, for everybody that's listening to us, even though, what I'm saying, we have this platform and we got our sports, what I'm saying, platform, we just like everyone else at home, what I'm saying. We working, some of us got two jobs, we hustling, we got kids, whatever the case may be. So,
You
you
calling
know,
people over here, y'all.
yeah, man, so we just everyone's like what's that relatable, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we kind of made this platform because everyone can relate when we have certain topics about entrepreneurship, about issues in the workplace and things like that. Like that type of stuff resonates with the everyday person. You know what I mean? And it's nothing that we just like freestyling, like we coming from like a standpoint where we can't relate to anybody. No, we
Exactly.
in it. We in the
Exactly.
struggle.
We ain't in no industry, man. We ain't on that industry list yet.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, what I'm saying, we trying to figure out, savings, investing, paying these bills, and trying to get ahead of the game. So, as we get bigger and better and more opportunities open up, no doubt we're gonna share everything. And I think the I think the beautiful thing about this platform that we're trying to build, where it's like, you know, back in the days, you had to be on certain networks. You had to get your mass, you had to get your degree in mass, communications. You had to get in it. Whereas now, you create your own.
This freelance academy right here, man.
You can
Anything.
kind
You
of
can
create your
definitely.
yeah, no doubt. You kind of create your own. Go through the rough patches. Try to do everything on the fly. Cross train yourself, and the most important thing is ownership. You know what I'm saying? And having ownership, and not saying that you never have to listen to anybody, but when it really comes down to it, if a nigga trying to tell you what to do, nah, it's our joke. If you don't like the way how we operate, you can move on elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's what we try to really preach on this platform in terms of, ownership and pride and ownership as well. And, building it from the soil because, I mean, like we just said earlier, we're doing everything fresh from the ground. We don't have a automatic fan base already with this comment because we could be play ball or we in movies or whatever. Nah, everything is organic. So each and one of every listener, every viewer, every person that say hits us up online, everyone is appreciated because this is like the start of a journey. In every major platform, I don't care whether it's Drink Champs, you know what I'm saying, Joe Budden and them, any of your favorite podcasts, everyone started from the ground level.
Yeah, and they grow. Man. They grow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
it had to
elevated.
grow. Had to grow, no doubt. So, before we get things fully kicked off, right now we are operating primarily on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free to follow us on YouTube at Elite Hustle Media TV. We'll be on all of the streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, very shortly. So we're working with our podcast distributors, and we're working on it as we speak. If you're on the IG, hit us up, _King Lions, _media, Hustle Elite 17, for sure. And on the Twitters, aka the Wild West. Twitter's wild.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Twitter's crazy. That's a whole nother conversation, bro. For sure.
I started to say something. I caught myself. We'll touch on
Yeah.
that. We'll touch on that another day.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that when certain coasts are clear. You know what I'm saying? So, man. So last week, man, we had a very epic battle, man. We had a very epic battle. We had a versus battle. We had a
Fucking blown, man. Fab fucking disappointed, man. Jada is
Go ahead, cook.
crazy.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and round point.
He's a crazy MC. Like the hip hop heads was going for him, but like the kind of newer school was kind of root for Fabulous, man. I think his DJ fucked him up though. His DJ snubbed her. His DJ snubbed her. Jada slid because he played the hits at the end when it was already said and done. When it was finito. When he was already in the white flag. That shit was unreal.
You can't blame Booth because Fab wasn't prepared. You know what? Fab didn't take this seriously. Listen, I'm sure everyone that saw the battle, so we're not gonna go too deep into the different nuances of the battle, but one thing that I noticed immediately, Fab appeared to be disinterested from the very beginning.
The whole fucking thing.
So it took him a minute to really warm up. He got some, Ciroc and Douce up in him. Jada was already drinking.
Jada was lit the whole fucking. Yeah, we love drunk Jada, man. Drunk Jada, yeah, we need more of that energy.
They was like our uncles at the cookout. You know how you got your favorite two uncles at the cookout, and they already, smoking or drinking, and they just super nice. They saying whatever, doing whatever, flirting with all everybody, family members, girlfriend. That's how it is. Outside of Fab, not being unorganized, and listen, I've seen all the comments. Everyone's killing Booth. I'm gonna give Booth. I'm gonna shoot him some bail a little bit, because when it's all said and done, he is the DJ, but Fab has to come in with the game plan. So if Fab keeps looking back at, Booth, like, all right, Booth, play me something, Booth. First of all, I believe in these versus battles, I don't mind people being, nice. But I think if you get too nice too early, it's going to go wrong. Didn't anyone learn anything from Sean Garrett in the Dream Battle where Sean Garrett was totally wasted? And he was saying wild shit, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's okay to be nice. Just don't do it too early. Then you lose focus. But the thing that was hot about that battle, though, was, when it was each other's turn, they just didn't let the record play.
They performed it. That was dope.
That was
Keep
dope.
it for future, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I like that.
And Booth and High Tech. Shout out to High Tech. High Tech. He's the DJ. Beat maker. He's with Tyler Kweli. Yeah. So in between different songs, they'll be, throwing some mixes in and all that. It was definitely an East Coast type of verses.
It's definitely for the culture. It's definitely for the culture.
Yeah,
sure.
And I think the great thing about that battle, it immediately, like, once their songs came on, like I ain't had to think twice. I already knew the words for the most part, you know.
Because they
And
had hits. They had a lot of hits between them. But you would think for a DJ, if when the other DJ playing these songs, say, they kind of getting washed. Let me get into my DJ bag and read the room and play some hits. Like, come on, man. Like, that was.
I think Fab should have stuck to his formula first. And I think Fab lost it when he tried to go street record for, what's in street record.
No souls, no soul tapes.
No, no
No,
soul tapes.
no
What's the
summer
other one?
shootouts. No summer shootouts. Like, what the fuck? Like,
What's the other one?
the funeral.
There's no
Competition.
competition.
Yeah, like he didn't go into his mixtape bags. Like, what the fuck, man? Fucking Jada's getting freestyles, all fucking radios and shit. Like, come on, bro. Read the room, DJ Boo.
You still going on, Boo?
Yeah,
shout,
man.
shout out Booth, man. Booth trying his best, man. But Jada came in with a great, you know what I'm saying, with a great game plan. He executed it. Even when he was nice, he still, stayed on schedule. And I think he had Fab off balance, whereas Fab could have just played his hits early and then played some of his Clue tape. You know what I'm saying? Fab, Soul tape, Fab, No Competition, Fab, Summer Shootout, Fab, and it would have been a more even battle. But I think with Jadakiss catalog, which everyone tend to overlook,
Too much. These 2 decades.
you gotta forget he was in the studio with Biggie.
2 decades. Yeah, you got 2 decades.
That whole Bad Boy era, it was at least 4 or 5 years before Fab like officially came in the game.
It was like Fab, like 99, 2000, 2001, something like that.
Yeah, 2001 was when he, made his debut with his first album. Even though Kiss' first album came out in '01, but he still had a group album. I mean, by the time, Kiss' first album came out, he was already 2 group albums in. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it was a very excellent battle overall.
Yeah.
And the thing that resonated with me immediately was, should this usher in the East Coast and usher in the whole new, try to usher that sound back in, you know what I'm saying? And I sincerely hope that any East Coast MC, they had their patent pens ready. They're working on their bars. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely got to have a catalog, though. It ain't too many rappers I can think of, like, newer, like, for the past few years, so that can even have a catalog.
Yeah, because everybody's putting out EPs or they're putting out singles.
Singles, it's a single.
I mean, you can put out singles all day, but when it comes to these versus battles, it's all about your longevity and the input that you have in the game. Now, mind you, they're not playing one-hit wonders at these versus battles. You got to have a substantial catalog, even if you only had 3 albums.
How long was Nelly run? 50 run wasn't that long neither. In 50, you could do the beat. How long?
I think Nelly's peak 2000 through 2004.
Yeah, it's about a good 4-year run. Is about right.
Cause you figure, you had the Country Grammar, When Diamond, then you had Nelly's. Yep, you had that one, and then you had the Sweatsuit album. We had like the double album.
Yeah,
he had a lot of songs.
His group had one too.
St. Lunatics, yeah. So he had so even with Nelly's first 3 albums, it's hits everywhere. That's why I was a little upset that they paired him against Luda.
That wasn't
because
fair.
I think they should have paired Nelly against Ja Rule. That'd have been a better battle.
I still got Ja pulling out at the end. I think Jada's got like a little bit more hits than he do. He's got more hits.
Ja got a lot of hits, man. Ja got a lot of hits. Not only for himself, but the things that he written for other people. And that's one of the whole casualties of war when it came to him and 50 and that whole thing where it's like the fans totally turned on. You know what I'm saying? Ja, it's like, damn, Ja was just on the
because 50 was this monster, this new energy, this new fresh air. He had everything behind. He had him behind. He had Dre behind him. Like, Come on, man. He was
It's
hot when
just
he
a,
came
it's
out,
just a,
man.
yeah, it's just a classic example of right place, right time,
For a win, yeah.
right opportunity, and then Murder Inc. was going through their whole issues, with the feds and Def Jam turned their back on them.
And then with that
All
beef, yeah.
look, all their friends turned their back on 'em. Jay Z turned their back on them, but we're gonna get to that later. All their friends turned their back on them. And that's why when Jada came back out again with the album called Rule, when he had was New York on there.
Yeah.
We have, Fat Joe, and he had, Jada Kiss on there. And a lot of people didn't think it was going to sell, and it still went platinum with no support.
That's a
You
classic.
know, yeah, no doubt. So, again, great music is going to trump fans, is going to trump, trends any day, even if it takes a minute for everyone to finally catch on. It's a lot of great albums that niggas don't catch on until later. You know what I'm saying? That actually should have popped off because of politics and everything like that.
Look
And
how long
then,
it took Reasonable Doubt to pop off.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then even with that whole thing where Reasonable Doubt came out, it was one of the best albums in history, but that album didn't get a chance to fully like breathe because Pac was still alive, Biggie
It's,
was still alive,
it's a lot of
not
artists. Yeah, it's a lot of
and
artists.
and listen, during that year, that's when Nas finally hit mainstream with that second album. It was written. You know what I'm saying? So it was that's what I miss. And listen, I'm almost 40, but that's one of the things that I really really miss about that era, like from like the '93 to 2004ish, where it's like you had this level of competition. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone was cool with everyone to a certain degree, but you had like a level of competition. So if you put out an album, it may be dope. Guess what I'm doing? I got my pen and pad.
Yeah, rewriting
Call,
shit. Yeah.
calling Timberland, DJ Premier. Hey, I need to get in the, inside the studio now. Let's go, let's go. And everyone was on top of their game. DMX, you had the Nas, the Red Man's of the world, Method Man's of the world, you know, so forth and so on. Everyone was on top of their game. You know what I'm saying? And now, because of the complexities of streaming, and because you got the fans, it kind of makes an artist jaded in a sense, where it's like, do I lock myself away for 6 to 8 months, put this incredible body work, and then when I put it
Days over
out,
with.
no one doesn't even buy it. Like,
Shit's over with. Days over with.
do you realize that the Clip's second album, Hell Have No Fury,
It was
only
a big
sold
gap.
barely 200,000, and that was a certified classic?
Yeah, it
Like,
slept kind of like a big deal, and all
it
of this
just
on me, man.
I don't even understand that. That,
Me
and
too.
listen, we can name plenty of albums that didn't get the light of day, but the level of lyricism, concepts,
Production,
bars,
everything.
everything's
The
on
structure,
par,
everything. Yeah.
on par. And then you got some other nigga from Middle America put out some bullshit and sell 4 million records. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Real quick, man. Fuck anybody who hate Godson. Nas Godson, I remember like when that Christmas and I got that shit. Nas Godson is a good album. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. Everybody talking about he can't pick beats. No, nah, man. He did have some funny beats, but nah. Godson, now they did. It aged well.
Nas is ill because he is guilty of picking subpar beats or not working with top tier guys all the time. Godson was, I mean, on that album, you had, I'm trying to figure out which songs was on that because he put out a lot of albums back to back after
Major,
Still
that's the one
Matter.
that had Major Look on there.
Major Look was on there? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he had a lot of songs on there.
Okay. I'm thinking about that double CD he put out after that because, like,
That was
I think,
after.
yeah,
That was
I
after.
think for like a period of time, he put out a lot of albums out back to back to back to back. And
That
then,
was like the one we was at the table and shit, like around there. Yeah, he was putting flowers out.
yeah, he's putting a lot of
Yeah.
albums out. Yeah, but Nas is, man, listen, Nas doesn't get his credit enough in terms of his impact. You know what I'm saying? And rap overall, they just talk about Illmatic and that's it. But he had other great albums outside of that, man. He had a lot of great albums.
And not just the ill match, it's a still match, and it was written. Man.
Yeah, I still listen to It Was Written. I still listen to it.
Oh, you got to, you got to.
Still listen to it. It's just outstanding. But you know, so I think what Fab and Jada definitely like accomplished for sure. I think they kind of accomplished where if you were unfamiliar with East Coast rap and the way how East Coast rap was, it gave you like an insight of that because there was in that certain time period where everyone was putting out music and they was part of that group. And I sincerely hope that East Coast rap does return. Now,
It's on the cusp.
yeah, but
It's little pockets full. It's like it's not continuously. It's always hiccups, and you got the little TJs and stuff like that. But it's other artists like Griselda, man. They bringing that boom back.
yeah, but even in Griselda, there's only one nigga that's really ill, and there's only one nigga, and that's Benny. Benny's the he's the best out the group. You know
But
what
I
I'm
would, but I would say Conway and fucking
saying? West Side.
Westside. Take any other artist, and they still better than them though. A lot of artists though too.
I think the thing that I like about them is their work ethic.
Yeah,
You know
that
what
whole
I'm saying?
they on
They
their
got the
team.
work ethic. They're hungry, and they're definitely trying to bring that New York pride back. But East Coast isn't just consistent of New York. You know what I'm saying? But rap was created in New York. We all understand some of the greatest MCs came from New York. So, but I just hope and pray that not only just New York rap, but Philly rap and everything up top. I hope they just regain their total identity because East Coast rap is in an identity crisis right now, and it's been like that since '05.
And ringtone era, yeah.
Ringtone era, snap music era, So once the South fully came in '05, and
Chasing that wave.
I'm just earmarking 2005 because the South has always been there. You always had Ghetto Boys, you had Outkast, you had your various Southern artists, Trick Daddy, and others. But that '05 mark, right when music was changing, people wasn't buying as much CDs anymore. There was like MP3 downloads was legal or illegal.
R.I.P. Line Wide.
Call tones, ringtones,
Yeah.
and things like that. So, and I think that once the fans started consuming music differently and the way how they obtain music differently, I believe it caused a lot of East Coast rappers to feel a way of, well, if I can't sell what I used to sell just 2 years ago, I'm putting this dope project out. I'm barely selling. Why should I even go through this? And that's why a lot of East Coast rappers stopped being, active. I mean, dog. If you really look back at the history of, especially when you go through the '90s and the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, niggas putting out albums every year.
Hell yeah, you got a different from Fat Joe all the way to fucking you name it, MOP, fucking anybody, you name somebody.
And I just think that East Coast rap didn't really adapt to the actual changes. And now you got streaming, so now I was listening to Button podcast, and he was talking about how rappers got to put out 20-minute EPs, and they got to put like 2 or 3 EPs out a year just to get the streaming. Yeah, just to get the streaming numbers. And I think that if you have a great strategy, it can work because essentially you could be your own modern day, Master P. We put out a bunch of albums, but it gotta be strategic. But listen, fuck all that. At the end of the day, it has to be great quality.
Yeah.
I don't care how many party songs you put out.
No, it don't. No, it don't. It don't. Well, to us, it gotta be. But for this new day and age, man, if a hook right, and the fucking beat catchy, man, that shit gonna fucking,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
it's gone. It's gone.
yeah. It's all
It's
right.
gone.
I mean, that could be the single. That could be the first two singles, but you gonna have a whole album like that?
Some people think when they try sprinkling some bullshit in there, but
I don't know, man. I think I think the game is going to find itself. I think the game has a really interesting way of kind of, you know, washing certain trends out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like lyrical people always still man. People talk about
Yeah,
the lyrical is gone. Nah, you just gotta listen for them.
but even the lyrical guys got to kind of, have a difference in their flow a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Kata, man, I fuck with Kata hard, but it's time
Yeah,
for me to try and
gotta
change it into another flow or something now, man. Switch it
no
up.
doubt. Yeah, so you gotta have more than one different way to try to get on. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be the same formula all the time. You gotta switch your formula up. You know what I'm saying? So instead of putting out 25 songs, maybe it would be okay to put out 10 songs, 11 songs. You know what I'm saying? Because the modern day consumer, they're not gonna sit with your album for 3 hours at a time because I mean
It's
we
microwave
all
right now, baby.
yeah.
Everything, man. Here now is gone.
Yeah, it's like we got a lot of shit to do, and yeah, people may work out, they may do this and do that, but they have to be really loyal to your actual following to really sit with your project. You know what I'm saying? But if you trying to like attract new listeners and you putting out 25 songs, that's a lot.
They gone. That's as soon as they see that track listen, like turned off. What out here on the radio? What's that? What's that song? All right, I listen to that one, but nah, fuck that. That's true.
Yeah, 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 no doubt. So, but I love the versus battles. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that they're what I'm saying, showing love to all the legends in the game. And I think that there's always a silver lining with this pandemic that's going on. Because it forced everyone to kind of sit down. It forced people to, when they look at these, say battles, if you never heard of a Jada Kiss, or if you never, heard of a Nelly or whatever, it forced you to actually do your research. That's one good thing that you have. Spotify, you got your iTunes, where you can just type in the names and pull up their whole catalog, and you can kind of really fall in love with the artist all over again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just very thankful that we had this opportunity to be able to show them love, and of course, all of us are sitting around thinking, all right, what other matchups we can come up with? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let you take the first lead on this. On what are some of the other matchups that you're hoping that will actually
Well,
come out
one
of
of the
this?
people that was already I was thinking about had my head loaded already was Ti. I think Ti will be a good one. Now the next person, uh, okay, you got to be a certain tier because everybody you got to think of the right artist. Like I said, you got to have the right catalog. Everybody can't go against each other. Your catalog ain't together. You got to have the right body of work. I say somebody like Cam going against Fat Joe or some shit like that. So like Cam definitely Cam because Cam is entertaining in a motherfucker. I would
What
definitely
about
love
Nori?
Nori. I think Nori and Fat Joe probably been a good one. I think that's a good one. But Cam, I think Cam got a little bit more because this off the diplomat shit alone. Not even talking about his shit. I think his can go a little deeper than Nori. But somebody go against Cam, maybe like maybe a game or some shit. Cam and game, best of both worlds. Jim Jones can on the phone make that happen.
I don't know about that. I think the game may actually get Cam. Even though I love Killer Cam, I think game may get him.
Man,
I
when he
think
play that
game got him.
motherfucking what's that shit called? That fucking what's the song, man? The video he riding around the limo. What the world mean to me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When he get into that, that's gonna be a hard fucking beat, man. That's gonna be a
The
hard.
remix was hard though.
Who was on the remix? Mace was Mace on the remix.
Nah, he wasn't fucking with Mace at that point. You
That
had,
was done. They was done.
I think on the remix you had Trina. I think Twister was on it.
Oh yeah, I remember Trina verse a little bit. Yeah. Trina was on it. Yup.
Yeah. When it comes to like matchups, I definitely want to see if 50 Cent doesn't take the challenge from
He probably
Ti.
won't.
I think he should, but he's already been on record saying he wants to battle Snoop for whatever reason, because Snoop would dust 50 up out of
Snoop
here.
is a hard beat, young. Snoop has been here for 3 decades. So you
He
got
don't
Jay Z. He's like Eminem, Jay
listen.
Z's.
50 Cent does not want any parts of Snoop. And you know what?
You know that.
Listen, Snoop is such a nice guy. He's not. You have to really push Snoop in order to get Snoop mad. Snoop is just so diplomatic. He loves everybody.
Uncle
But
Snoop.
yeah, but if 50 doesn't take that battle, I definitely want to see Ti and Rick Ross. I definitely want to see that. Or you can even do Ti and Game. You can even do that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think Ti will actually win that. Um, like a
That Ross and Ti is a little tough a little bit. I
yeah.
still got Ti edging Ross out a little bit, but Ross, man, he had a definitely a time period with his
hmm
mixtapes and stuff. Like,
And then, I think Rick Ross is due. Because for the last couple of years, Ross has kind of been off a little bit because again, he came from an era where selling albums. You know what I'm saying? Album sales.
he was on the last tier of people that was on that album shit. Because if you came out a little bit later, that would have been the thing of the past.
Yeah. So when now he's trying to get adjusted to his whole streaming things, and some of his like album numbers aren't the way how they used to be, and people trying to write him off. But Rick Ross is still a top tier MC and a top tier ear for beats like Justice League, Olympics, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rick Ross' ear for music is elite. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to, yell out Khaled, Khaled, Khaled. No, you gotta think about Fat Joe. You gotta think about, Rick Ross, Wayne. There's so many guys that have great ears. Busta Rhymes. He has a tremendous
Busta Rhymes should do a verse with somebody
listen.
too.
Listen. Busta Rhymes is an issue as well.
Yeah, he should definitely do a verse. Thinking about
Listen.
him, people like this, like not
Maybe you could have a Busta Rhymes and Ti. I always wanted to have Busta Rhymes.
That's a fun man.
I think I always wanted to have Busta Rhymes against DMX, but DMX said he only wants to say Jay-Z, so he kind of took the fun out of everything. He's just doing whatever DMX is doing. Take the fun out.
I got DMX winning that though. I got DMX winning that.
Over
Over Bust.
Mr. Buster.
Yeah, slight.
Yeah, that's gonna be close. That's gonna be super close.
But Buster definitely need to get in this. I definitely see Bust getting too short of somebody. Shit, somebody do another hip hop legend.
Well, we're not gonna see a Method Man, a Red Man. You know what I'm saying? Because Method Man has already squashed that. Yeah, he already squashed that. But as I was thinking about matchups for real, I was thinking, and I was just going through my mental. I want to see Bone Thugs and Harmony against Outkast. I want to see.
Outkast got that. I got my money on Outkast.
Oh no!
I got my money on Outkast.
I don't know. Bone got some.
They
Bone
got
some joints,
They
man.
they could play majority of their first album.
No, they can play their first, second, and third album.
They got some songs. I still got Outkast. It's longevity though, because they stayed. Because Bone have had some shit and it disappeared for like 5 to 6 years or so. Come back, go and this back and here again. Like they always do that coming.
But that's Outkast too.
Nah, they gone now. I think they gone now. I mean, Big Boy, he got some new music out.
Yeah, man, fucking Andre 3000 fucked everything up, man.
Yeah,
I love Andre 3000 though, but he fucked the money up for Outkast.
I think we fuck Andre 3000 up, man. I think we kind of was head up a little bit, man. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but
Andre is
niggas
dope,
like
man.
niggas saying like he's like out of the world, man. I
He
don't think
is.
he ain't fucking with Wayne. Yeah. Especially when Wayne was on this mixtape shit. Don't get me wrong, 3 Stacks is the problem.
3 Stacks is an alien, dog.
He is. We ain't fucking with Wayne, though. I don't got no fucking with Wayne.
I mean, if we talking about right now,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
definitely
Ned,
go neck
right
and
now,
neck.
yeah, right now, 3 Stacks might got that over Wayne now. Wayne got to do some calibrating.
I think
He
I
still
think the
got it,
thing
though.
about tell you, but I think the thing about Lil Wayne, he put out so much music that
Kind of burnt
let's
himself.
say out of 100%, 25 might have been bullshit records, bullshit verses, because he had plenty of bullshit verses. I don't want nobody to get that shit twisted. It'd be some verse like, what the fuck is Wayne talking about?
Especially on his features, when he was on his little features
Yeah,
with
like, what the
Wayne
fuck is
from
he talking about? But for the most part, Wayne was on this game. But even Wayne had to go through like a transformation, from the
when he
Hot
first
Boys
came
era.
in. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? From the
That flow change, yep,
yeah,
definitely.
the flow had
And
to change, but it had to. And that's the one thing that I love about hip hop. Whereas again, you could be from the South, you could be from the West Coast, wherever you're from, and if your style, when you come out and you just make it because of your style, but at a certain point, you understand that you know what, I need to make a classic. I need to put together these concepts, these lyrics, and I need to try to put myself in a different tier. And Wayne had to do that. Rick Ross had to do that. Game had to do that. It's a lot of MCs that really gotten better as each album has gone.
yeah, yeah. Some people hire ghostwriters too, though. Don't get it wrong. Some niggas did hire ghostwriters.
Well, everyone loves Drake and everyone swears by him. And, if you say anything bad about Drake or Jay Z or anybody, everybody getting their panties in a bunch. But that's the only nigga that I know that has all these ghostwriters and still think he ill, you know. And that's the one good thing that I think Drake really kind of understands, that he said that he had to take a hit in terms of, hey, well, if I had to take a pick, if I'm gonna get dinged for using ghostwriters, then if I'm not I'm considered peer, then whatever. Yeah, you're absolutely right,
I think
because
I
that
think it's way more artists that use
because
ghostwriters.
now, but listen, if you hire ghostwriters, whatever, that's your thing.
Yeah.
But you can't come out and say that
You the best MC. Yeah.
you the illest and that you on the top 10 list or 15 list or whatever. How? You using
Yeah,
somebody
can't
else's
be on.
brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Using
Can't be
somebody
on
else's
MC.
pen. You know what I'm saying? You could just perform it better.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or you may have the look, and that's another thing with music. It's all about presentation and what the fans you or what the women gonna think about you, whatever. There's been a lot of MCs who didn't blow because of
Look what
their
happened with
look.
J. Cole. Look what happened with J. Cole when it came out. He was married. I think his friend or something spilled that shit. I'm married because you gotta be single, man. You gotta be appealing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in rap it doesn't hurt you as much as it does in R&B. I think that fucked Usher up.
And when it came out, yeah, with him and this girl at the time, and shit,
Yeah, yeah.
Shelby and shit. Yeah.
I think it fucked Usher up. So, I definitely want to see the Bone Thugs and Outkast. I also want to see. I want to see Scarface
I was thinking about the Ghetto Boys. Who they
and
called?
I want to see a Scarface E40, or you could do Bun B and maybe Trick Daddy or something like that.
Yeah.
At least kind of mix it up. But definitely they need to go back R&B. I think Joe should be in it. I think Maxwell should be in it. Um, it's a lot of R&B cats can be in
Man,
it, but
Black Street, man, the list is long as
the
fuck.
la- but this is what I'm gonna tell you, because I actually tweeted this a long time ago and it got ignored. But the person from artist standpoint, as a writer, as a person who actually make these beats, I think the one dude that is a monster that's not here to showcase it, and his name is Taboo. But the one guy that I think gets a lot of these R&B dudes out of here, a lot of these writers out of here, is R. Kelly. If
He
R.
got
Kelly
to.
was in the verses,
God, Kelly is he's arguably like the godfather of R&B, like the modern day, like his era R&B
listen,
and this shit
man.
that came out them like legit,
Listen,
like
man. We don't condone what R did, but
and fuck no.
I still listen to his music.
I don't listen to it no more, man.
I
It
still
kind of was
listen to it.
hard, man, turning up some of his music because he had motherfucking hits, man.
Hits ain't the word, brother.
And
This nigga like crafted. Listen, every major person that you know, he written for.
he can't even like he had like his own like issues and shit. Like and for him to be like this like a music savant like that, that shit is crazy, man.
I
It's
think
crazy.
I think the R. Kelly story is so sad because, you know, he had the opportunity to kind of get himself together, but also being in this cocoon bubble where if you have a bunch of yes men around you, you don't have anybody that can kind of pull your coattails or say, "Nah, man,
Tell
you
you the
kind of
truth,
slipping right
yeah.
now," or all this money that he's made for not himself but written for other people, and you don't have anybody in your camp that say, all right, listen, this is what we need to do. If your issues is with literacy, let's enroll you in some classes.
Um,
Let's try to get you on the up so you can read these contracts. So and then also take control of your money. We gonna get it's not gonna be this podcast. It's probably gonna be the next episode. We really gonna get into like the meat of not just entertainers and music, but also in sports in terms of it's so important for these guys to take control of their career financially, not just hire all these fucking advisors who's gonna rob you anyway. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta like, yes, it's gonna take a lot of focus. You gotta write these songs, you gotta, play the game of basketball, football, whatever, but you gotta take extra time to really dedicate to figuring out. And we could say that as regular say people working nine to
outside looking
fives,
in because we
you know what
yeah,
I'm
we
saying,
picking that shit
working
up.
two
Yeah.
jobs or whatever the case may be. And to be very honest with you, like us doing this podcast has a lot of different layers that's like behind the scenes in terms of it's now forcing me to be better with myself personally, with your own personal affairs, and trying to maintain a better image. Cause now you're in public, kind of, sorta, and it's just a different game now. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have the excuse of, okay, well, I don't have the information because we got the internet. We got everything is
Everything's here.
here.
Hell yeah.
Everything is here now. So it's like, why not take advantage of what we have? And you got that direct to consumer relationship where you can take the independent game and go beyond. So it's just like R. Kelly. It's just such a shame on how people, of course, he had a lot to do with it in terms of not managing his whole money, people taking advantage of him, his own demons, his own mistakes. So that's when I think about verses, I think about guys like him. It's just like, damn, if R was in this battle,
That's
he'll
upper
probably
echelons, man. You gotta have
he'll probably
somebody
shut it down.
yeah, you gotta have like somebody from the old school to go against him because he just got that many hits and shit. Like,
Nigga, he could go up against himself. Look,
it was an album, wasn't it? Like, he was going against himself, wasn't it?
fuck Ti versus Tip. You got R. Kelly versus Kells.
Hell,
he could do,
man.
he could do that, man. It's
He
just
said, "What's R&B without the R? What's
yeah.
R&B without the motherfucking R?"
Nah, so it's just like, man, and then just to see him now, where it's a distinct possibility that he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail, possibly. I mean, we don't know how things gonna handle it in court, but you know, it's just sad, man. It's sad. But
Yeah.
I will say this: before we move along, I hear this a lot. How people say, "Oh, well, you can't separate the artist from the music, and it's kind of hard to hear him now." I can respect that position, but I just hope that people just won't, you know, erase him out the history books. You know what I'm saying? Because he made a lot of history.
Possibly,
He had made
possibly.
he because he made a lot of history, and also with this whole R. Kelly doc and that all, yeah, all these like celebrities coming out, they talking shit. Let's not forget, a lot of you R&B niggas, a lot of you music niggas was complicit in all that shit. Y'all took
They
songs from
knew.
him.
They
You
knew.
made you made money off of him. You know what I'm saying? You didn't
Shit
have a
defined,
problem
yeah.
when your ass needed a hit. You didn't have a problem going to R. Kelly. You
Ain't
didn't.
Nick Cannon's biggest song and Joe Budden's second biggest song. And
You
countless others
know,
their biggest hits.
he
So.
look he written songs with Joe, Maxwell, Tyrese, Genuine. I mean, the list goes on and on and
Don't even
on.
forget to talk about when he was in his group, what he did for fucking Hole and fucking Teddy P.
And the album he did with Jay Z, the song he did with Nas, or like all these like y'all can't sit there and say, "Oh, this guy's so horrible." But even with the whole tape incident, the very first time and when he got off of that, y'all was still working with him.
Yeah, the fucking
When
Best of Both Worlds and shit came out after that and all that stuff. So
listen, when he made Everyday People, everyone was dancing, stepping in the name of look, everybody stepping, everybody getting songs from him. You didn't have a problem. Dog, from 2003 to 2007, R. Kelly, from a writer standpoint, and just putting out volumes of music for himself and others, like he was completely on fire,
that's that Boondocks
completely.
episode. That episode of Boondocks. And man, he was singing it, cool people singing with him.
Man, he was on fire. So it's like, and I think that's a much deeper and darker conversation we had because a lot of the music industry is so fickle and they turn on people, and I honestly think if he had like $10 to $50 million in the account and he had a little bit of power still,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't even be like this right now. So, but that's a tragic thing when we think about these versus battles, man. About the what ifs and stuff like that, man. But so just moving along, man. We already talked about about the identity crisis that we've highlighted about East Coast rap for
Oh yeah.
sure, and even local. This is what I hope local, and we're gonna talk about later. Whereas, you know, DMV wise, like, and maybe we need to get some brothers from what's B More on here one day. It's like, why does B More think that they're not part of the DMV? Why? You know what I'm
As I
saying?
have this Oreos hat on right now.
Dog, I'm an Orioles fan, and a lot of Washington National fans used to be Oriole fans.
Yeah, that's how yeah when the
Like,
team
come
can't
on,
even shit.
man. Like, come on, come on.
People fit. People fit.
They fickle. Listen, I like the Nationals too. I'm glad that they won the championship. It's about area pride. You know what I'm saying? But I just hope that the East Coast rappers can kind of try to get themselves together for sure,
I
man.
blame ASAP, man. I blame ASAP. When it came out, it was gone.
Yeah, listen. Even Jay Z had certain songs that had bounce in it, but it was like one,
Yeah,
maybe
but
two.
Jay Z's like
Cam
boom
had some
bap.
songs, but
Yeah,
listen, the minute I seen Fat Joe go down to Miami, he hooked up with Scott
Khaled,
Stewart,
Scott Storch,
Khaled,
yeah, yeah, Cool and Drake. That's it. He
which
stayed
is
down there.
smart,
He stayed.
but Fat Joe never lost his identity. He just added a layer to his flow. Busta Rhymes added a layer. He always was kind of like flexible with the different type of songs he made and things like that. He just wasn't like one track with it. Like I think a DMX would suffer in this era right here
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. That one sound.
even though he's great, he put out like amazing music, but his subject matter is just one way. That's why rappers can't adapt. And it's just speaking about one thing. It's gonna be kind of hard, man. It's like, all right, man.
It's some artists that speak about one thing. Pusha T, you know, G's.
But he can rap though.
Yeah,
But he
he
can
can rap
rap.
though. He can rap. He can rap.
He can rap.
Rap.
It's not like he say, all right,
He
I'm just
far from moving the shit he been rapping about too, man. He far from moving, but that goddamn.
yeah, it's over. It's over with that, man. So we got this segment that we kind of came up with that I think is gonna be cool. That I think that everyone's kind of gonna latch on to, and I'm gonna kind of let you take the lead. We got this new segment called "Soundtrack to Your Soul." So, in light of what we've been talking about in terms of like the versus battle, in terms of transition from fans buying CDs to MP3s to iTunes to ringtone, blah blah blah. It's a lost art in terms of your actual CDs. And I'm sure a lot of you guys who are listening to us, and a lot of people who are watching this via the Hustle Media TV, I'm sure you guys got your trusty CD box somewhere, whether it's in your basement, in your
Flipping,
car,
flipping,
in your storage unit. You
flipping
got them.
pages,
You
CDs.
just gotta dust them off a little bit, and I'm sure that everyone has the soundtrack to their soul during a certain time period, whatever.
That's all
So
they is now at this point. CDs, fucking time period. That shit's.
it's collectibles, man. It's
Yeah.
collectibles. So give me your soundtracks, man.
All right, well,
What's up?
this, off the cuss, I can't do nothing without bringing this guy up. Right.
Oh,
Nah, for real though, real talk this shit about it. But I'm gonna start off something simple. The first one I got is of course a classic. I got Cameron Purple Haze, which I still listen to still to this day.
yeah, Killer
Perfect.
Cam.
Killer Cam. I'm mad that it had some songs that was supposed to be on here that was never on here. So I don't know what the fuck Def Jam was going back then. The
Did you
next thing,
listen to the actual like the bootleg version of what's it, Purple Haze?
is
He
that the
had
one that had Lord Knows on it?
no, he had a lot of different songs. Like I think the little white girl song that he had on there.
The girls just want to have fun or something.
It was totally different. It was like a different flip. I think Cam had a lot of songs that didn't make it because of like what I'm saying,
Too many.
sample
Yeah,
issues.
it's just shit.
Playing.
Yeah. A-Rab, that's all they do when they come to Cameron and they sample a lot of music.
Yeah, heat
Um,
makers.
yeah. So when this came out, shoot, I forgot what year this came out. '04. Shit. Yeah, '04 when this came out, people was wearing, crazy bright colors. This was definitely a time, like especially for New York around this time too.
Yep.
All the artists and everything coming out. And this is swag rap before swag. This is actually Biggie. This is the second reincarnation of swag because Biggie was swag before swag. So that's that one.
Shout out to Killer Cam.
Shout out to Killer. The next one I got was one of the ones. It was two of my friends from high school. It was all three of us, and we was having a discussion. Like, man, we got to get this damn CD. Like, we really got to go and cop this CD when we get out of school. Like, we realize got to go cop this damn CD.
Okay.
And this CD was actually this little gem right here is another classic.
That's one of his best CDs, King.
Guys, coming off ATL, he had that ATL hype around this time. So it's
What you
almost
know
like a
about
sound.
that?
So it's like also like a CD and a soundtrack to that ATL movie too at once. So it's like what Jay did with American Gangsters. That's a good one too. And the last one I got right here
I
is
still play that, by the way.
you still do go back to it.
Hell yeah.
I had fucking
I fuck with
videos.
T.I.
I had the top back video on my Zoom.
Listen, man, I fucks with T.I., man. I was just listening to Urban Legend just the other day.
Here we go. All right, here we go. The next one right here was I got what put me on to this dude that really blew up, and it was this one right here. What really put me on to him when I
Oh.
got this. Yeah, this one I got this right here, and then listen to the whole motherfucking album straight.
Front
That
to
song
back.
got it front to back. The song on here with Manny on production. Manny Fresh, man, one of the coldest producers in the game. People want to talk about.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that's it. That's it for right now. That's it for this episode. What I got.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Manny Fresh, man. Manny Fresh is definitely one of those. What's saying those? What's saying, forgotten soldiers. You know what I'm saying? In that music game. Jaquan.
Can't forget this guy though. Can't forget this guy though. Can't forget
Oh
that.
my
That hood
God.
hop. That hood hop, man, is the best song on the whole album.
Is that the single?
Yeah, it was later that, but Tipsy was the name. You know, that was the number one single coming off. That was Tipsy. He got another song on there with a female. I gotta look up the name of the song. That wasn't too bad. That was a little pop, but
So
trash.
he was with
So Def.
So Def JD in there, right?
Yeah, he wasn't with the St. Lunatics, which is weird because he's from St. Louis. Ended up, I just related to somebody, so I could brag someone.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have thought that he'd be running with Nelly in there.
Yeah, you would have
Weird.
thought Chicken would have been running with Nelly and them too.
Yeah. Chicken has some joints though.
Yeah. So Chicken ain't nothing but the evolved version of this though.
Nah, Chicken better than that dude.
That's final form this though.
You know what? Chicken better than that dude, man. Jaquan, man, just he got you that one that one song. That's it, man.
Don't get me wrong. Now, when Tipsy came out, that was like the song of the summer. That Black Planet and shit. That was the song. That was like the song of the summer.
Yeah, I can't believe you got that, Jaquan.
I can't believe I got that. I couldn't believe I got it back then. I couldn't believe it because I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, but once again, it goes back to that era. Whereas if you had a fan, listen, if you had a core following, they will actually go buy your CD. You'll see numbers. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga got a song on there, and I lie to you not. The shit say, "I got my underwear, my underwear."
That's how these niggas rapping right now. All they rapping about is just, you know what I'm saying, Molly, you know what I'm saying, about perks and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
30s and these off-white dunks.
Crazy, man, crazy. So that was a good joint. That was a good joint for you. So, this group right here, and mind you, I'm about 9-10 years older than you. So this group right here. And that's the great thing about music. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you love the music, you wanna gravitate towards all of it. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what I want these, you know what I'm saying, all these, you know what I'm saying, new rappers. I want them to really do their homework. A lot of these niggas don't even know their history. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got to.
They
That's
don't.
why I respect the
It's
J.
just
Codes and students. Got to be a student first.
Even when Yachty said that he never heard Biggie before, like how you gonna be in rap and you don't know about the pioneers of rap? I mean, that's stupid. That's just like you playing ball. You don't know nothing about LeBron, Jordan.
But how much we know about Sugar Hill Gang though?
Well, okay. Okay. There's exceptions to everything. Yes. There's some stuff from the 80s that I still don't really know all the way because, I mean, by the time I started listening to music, it was like 90, maybe 91. So, and when, I mean, you think about the golden era in the 80s, I was like super, like, I was like a little tyke, you know what I'm saying? Barely in kindergarten, you know what I'm saying? You know. So, this particular group caused me to really fall in love with rap. I used to be in my uncle's room all the time. You know, he had all the CDs, all the cassette tapes. And for all our younger listeners and viewers, yes, they had tapes back then.
That was my first thing of music I ever purchased, was a tape.
If you got an uncle or, you know, you got your father, whoever, go holler about the cassette tapes. I don't have one now. But this particular group, because the way how they made music, it kind of resonated with me in terms of like the beat selection, the rhymes, just how they put music together. So this group here will forever be in my soul.
A-La.
So it's Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe.
Right. So this particular album is Midnight Marauders.
Oh shit, hell yeah,
This is
that's a fucking
Midnight. This is
classic.
Midnight Marauders. But their first album, well, not their first album, but their second album, Low End Theory, which is the album that I really gravitate to. And with this particular one, you had like a war tour, you had all these
Yeah,
different songs on here. So Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip, Rest in Peace, Fife Dog,
Fight Dog,
you know,
DJ, what's his name?
Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I love Tribe Called Quest, man. Like, these guys really mean a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So for all you guys who don't know about Tribe, go get yourself some Tribe Called Quest, man.
definitely, man. People think about that later version of Q-Tip. I don't even, that definitely listened to him when he
Yeah, that's what he was trying to get trying to get his money up and everything. But
Vibrant thing, that is not my vibe.
yeah, vibrant thing and
That is not my vibe.
breathe and stop.
Nah, man, he can go ahead with that, man.
But listen, even with that album, right? Even though there's a lot of songs that you don't like on there, that album was a coming out party of Jay Dilla, though.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's
Jay
R.I.P.
Dilla
J.
did a lot
Dilla.
of beats on that album. Yep, exactly. So this next CD kind of goes in the same vein as Tribe. And this gentleman right here was so like he could, you know, we could actually like vibe with him because he came off as just a regular person, even though he made amazing beats. He was partly responsible for one of the greatest albums that I've ever heard. But when he dropped his debut, we all gravitated toward it. And even though we have our issues with him sometimes, I still fuck with him.
Here you go. Here you go.
You
Who it
know.
is? Who it is?
So we got Kanye West, college
Drop
dropout.
out. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
if y'all
Classic.
who and shit, gotta see.
Still to this day, you hear it out,
So
you
look,
still want that Kanye
so
back.
this is the original version with that teddy bear on it. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you know that it's old school, where you got the CD and the part of the shit broken off, whatever.
Quick question:
And
what's your favorite song off of it?
my favorite song off of this one, I like the song with Freeway and Most Def. I like the song with Common for sure, because that was Common's coming out party to kind of, what I'm saying,
Come back into the game.
get back,
Man.
yeah, because he just put out that little weird album before niggas weren't really fucking with Common. But when he came out, when he was on this song, he had a lot to say. It was Common and Talib Kweli on this particular song. Let me find it right quick.
That's when he was really into his backpack game, right there.
Yeah, it's called Get 'Em High.
Yeah.
Talib Kweli and Common. I fuck with that song. Of course, who doesn't fuck with slow jams? And
All four of them, my favorite. Man.
Through the Wire is always dope. Jesus Walk. I mean, this album was really instrumental, man. Because a lot of people say that Kanye's backpack, but again, some of the stuff he was talking about, his
Still
life
resonates.
experiences, it still resonates today, and it's all relatable. You know what I'm saying? And also, he kind of brought a different edge to the Rockefeller empire.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Not
I
that
wanna,
gangster.
I wanna also highlight something here, man. And I fuck with Dame Dash hard, man. Not to say that he's perfect, but like Dame Dash, man, is one of the most incredible people, incredible minds ever.
His ear is fucking retarded, man. You
I
got
still, I still watch a lot of his videos on YouTube. He has a lot of great insight. I fuck with Dame because he's a pioneer for entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I fuck with him, especially during his Rockefeller days, was the artwork. So every Rockefeller album, you always grab the artwork. So this is one of the things that I kind of miss about music right now.
yeah, you don't get that. You get no
You
books.
got the different artwork, and then also the one thing about as you see, you got different like formats in here, but
Album
also
credits and shit.
what
Everything.
like some of the things that Dame really like mastered was cross market opportunities, and very few records had crossmark opportunities. So you had Rockefeller Records, you had the different records there, and then you had the merch. So every Rockefeller album had the different merch, the different artists. That's all Dame Dash, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to conquer the game, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I really, really appreciated. And I'm sure every artist who was on that Rockefeller label fully like appreciated the fact that, we got somebody who's going to really, really put us out there because, you know, as much as I have issues with Jay-Z right now, I would never take away from his art. You know what I'm saying? But it is urban legend that he didn't give a lot of niggas a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it took a Dame, it took a Biggs, it took everyone else on the label to kind of get some of these other artists exposed or whatever the case may be. So, Kanye kind of proved himself, to making beats and coming out as a solo artist. And to be very honest with you, in my humble opinion, right now, current day, when you talk about it, like importance in music, he's more important than Jay-Z right now because he actually proved that, hey, I don't need Hov to be at my side every single time. I'm so dope. I'm so creative. I can create my own stuff. I can kind of branch off of you.
I was kind
And
of definitely messing with it when he had that creative control. Remember, he had a little creative control for a little bit. That was like what 2009 or like 12 or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
had I messed with that
One of the
stuff.
first blogs. One of the first
Yeah.
blogs. And before we like switch to our final topic, I got an honorable mention. This dude here is a legend. Bars, pioneer. And when he dropped this album, when he got to Def Jam, when he dropped this album, this put him in a different category. This is a classic. And when I show this to everybody, you don't know what this is. It's his Scarface.
Oh yeah, the fix. Hell yeah,
The
hell
Fix,
yeah.
y'all. If y'all don't have Scarface to Fix, go on your iTunes, on your Spotify,
That was like what
or
03, 02, something
this
like
is
that.
2002.
Two,
The
yeah,
Fix.
man.
So, and then you could tell like Scarface really stuck to the point, man. Just straight bars, man. Amazing music on here. Again, Kanye's on this album. Neptune's on this album. He got Beanie, Jay-Z on this
He
album.
had some hits, man. He was on the radio with that shit.
Absolutely, and what I'm saying, and I hope Scarface, gets back to full health. I know he's been battling the whole COVID thing, whatever. So, but Scarface for sure, man. Scarface's whole catalog, man. You got to make sure that you get yourself some. What's in Scarface? So, this is our introductory to soul. You know what I'm saying? Soundtrack to your soul. You know what I'm saying? I definitely look forward to each and every week. We give you our different versions of different, our soundtracks to our soul. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to hear from the audience. Their soundtracks to this. So
Yeah, no,
it's definitely
listen, man.
a lot of stuff we missed. So.
Listen, dog. That's the one thing I love about music, where it's like it doesn't matter who's in your rotation or who's in your soundtrack to your own personal soul. There's no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? We can go back and forth about who's better or whatever, but it's somebody for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's what I definitely love about music overall, man. It's just so dope, man. So in that vein, brother, it's a lot of people that get a lot of notoriety, a lot of people who get, all this different praise. And there's a lot of people who don't necessarily get any type of praise, they get overlooked. So who are some of your most underappreciated artists, whether they're active or not active?
Well, shit. We was having this discussion. This shit was giving me a tough time coming up with this list because the fucking list is long as fuck of how many people that could have been on this shit. Like, I could have put like fucking like a fucking Big Crit or some shit on here. But I kept it simple. I had the Game, Currency, And the last one, the artist I told you I was gonna tell you about, that was slept on and just fell underneath the rug, Kurt Cobain's. He had three gangster groups that came out. What was it? The Progression, 1, 2, and 3. Definitely some good listens to go back and check out, because the stuff that Drake and your artists, you name it, what they doing now, he was doing that like in the early 2000s, tens and shit. He was doing that same shit.
Max B before he got locked up too.
Yeah, Max B, yeah, man, Silver Surfer, man, definitely, man. I thought fucking French, man.
Mm-hmm.
French.
Chris
Did that
Vaughn.
man wrong, man.
Yeah, straight up,
Definitely.
man.
But
Yeah.
Currency, definitely, he's relevant. I forgot to say, Currency's been fucking relevant.
Currency's my favorite rapper right now, man.
He stays consistent. He puts out
I
a
fucks with
mixtape, an
Currency,
album
man.
every year. Just about.
I fuck with Spitter all the way, man. Every time, listen, when Spitter comes out with an album right now, I rush to it like I used to do when Hove used to put albums out. So anytime Jay Z put out an album, it's like, oh, I get this rush like I do for like retro Jordans. I get this little thing in me. Oh my god, I gotta get it. It just happened today. I missed out on the fucking launch for the great
The five,
Jordans.
the
I
five,
didn't.
yeah.
I missed it, but you got StockX, but
Man, you
I kind
gonna
of.
owe it. You gonna pay extra too. You gonna add an extra shoe price.
I mean, I'm gonna listen. If you go through StockX, you gonna pay an extra 30 40
Nah, man, I went
dollars.
on StockX yesterday, man. A lot of shoes going down too. I don't know what's going on. Shoes going down. This might be the
Yeah,
time to
yeah,
clean up.
yeah. But my bad. I kind of like intercepted
That's
the
it,
jump.
tough. Yeah.
I fuck with Spitter, man. Spitter comes out with these dope, you know what I'm saying, albums, EPs, and the thing that I like about Spitter is that he has a great ear too, great beats, and the
You can
people
tell
that
by
he
the samples and all that shit.
and
Yeah.
the people that he rhymes with. Like I got introduced to Larry June through, you know what I'm saying, Spitter, Roddy, Fendi P, all these different type Smoke Dizza, all these dudes, like, and now mind you, Currency was part of the whole Dame's thing, doing the whole
Creative
creative
control.
control.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
later.
whether it was Wiz, it was, what I'm saying, Currency, Crit,
Yeah. Yep.
a whole bunch of guys, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Most
saying?
even most
Asher
pop.
Roth,
Yeah, Asher Roth. Yeah, man. People, that was a
Cool
move. Man.
Kids.
Ooh, man, Chuck English, man, one of the best
Chuck
unknown
English is dope.
producers that people will not talk about. But yeah, man, definitely, it was an error.
Yeah, man, I definitely fuck with Spitter, and I think the game.
It
I
speaks for
think
itself, man. He speaks for
the game
itself,
is
man.
dope. Listen,
He's
man, you and I
dope,
had.
man.
I mean, you and I had. Listen, you and I had this talk last week about the game, just off the humble, and we were just sitting there talking about, yeah, he is like 50 in terms of the whole, what was it, controversy, pettiness, but
He is.
when you really sit down and really analyze, like, game has a lot of dope fucking music,
And he
man.
will bar that ass up. He will bar your favorite rapper this about. He will bar their ass to death. 300
This
bars and running, still
This
running.
listen, this dude has different flows, different tempos, different voices and shit. Like you thought Eminem had different voices and flows. Like Game is just on that same type of par. And I was sitting there just thinking about his albums, and when I named this album to you immediately, like even though we wasn't on the FaceTime, but I could hear it in your voice, you like, oh fuck, like Jesus Piece. That
That's
album is
it's a
dope as
classic. That's a
fuck.
classic. That's a classic. That's
Nigga,
definitely a classic. Without a doubt, you can listen to the whole from front to back. That song you got on there with Pusha T, Ali Boombaye, like all that shit. Like the game is something crazy, man. For all
Blood
y'all people,
Diamonds, yeah,
all the people
everything.
sleeping on game, go check out his LA Leakers freestyle. He rapped on the Go Loco beat.
And game will give you, like, I remember this joke that what's that Big Boy said when he was on this radio show. He's like, yeah, game, I just listened to you do freestyle all 800 60 minutes of it. You didn't even
hmm
take a breath of
Nope, nope,
it.
nope.
So game will give you 1,500 bars easy. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with game. I don't fuck with some of the antics. But
That's
once,
why I think he's get overlooked a lot is for an over name drop and his antics, his behavior and shit. That's why I think he get overlooked. He don't get his just due like he should. But he
hmm
definitely a legend in the game. He's respected in the West Coast. He had the West Coast. He's holding that shit on his own for a little bit. And
yeah,
yeah, definitely, man. Game is definitely one of the top MCs in the game that don't get talked about for some strange.
hmm hmm Now, for me, it was a little tough, a little bit. I think I made it more difficult than what I needed to do. The first name that comes off, he's a local guy, Wale. I think
Yeah,
Wale is not only overlooked, misunderstood, misquoted. He brings a lot of shit on himself.
yeah, he does. He does. He
But
does.
I think that I think Wale's been through a lot in this industry, and
But he can rap though. That's the thing.
he should be commended more than what he is because he's like one of the first major rap guys to come out of
Not
Maryland slash
necessarily.
DC. You know what I'm saying? But when you
And
think about the whole DMV, you got to think about the Clips, Pusha T. You know what I'm saying?
people don't
Timberland,
even think
Missy.
about them when they think about
You
DMV
know,
though.
but even when you think DMV, it's more R&B central. Whereas
It is. It
you
is.
had Genuine, you got Maya,
Got fucking Marvin Gaye for crying out loud.
I'm saying
Yeah, like
Drew Hill, you had Mario,
Severe. Had a whole bunch of artists.
yeah. So, but when you talk about rap outside of Pusha T and Malice in the in Maryland, no sense specifically, who actually made it. Wale should be really, really commended that he made history because he really earned it. He
He don't
really
even get his just due his. People from here
listen.
don't even fuck with him.
Even not just like on a mainstream, but even with his EPs and mixtapes. Now
His mixtape's better than his albums.
we're talking '08 through 2011 when he hopped on
Sneakerhead. When he was on
mixtapes.
his sneakerhead shit.
Yeah, and then when he got on this
100 miles and running. The
that
fucking
one.
mixtapes about nothings.
Back to the Future
Back
mixtape
to
with
that.
Mr.
Back
Knife
to
Wonder.
Joe Button. He smoked that fucking verse he was on with Wale and K9 or somebody else. He fucking smoked that shit.
So I think Wale should get his flowers. He should get his no saying just due. But I do want to see Wale just from an artistic and even from a music business standpoint. I would rather see Wale independent, but he even when he was on like the pull up and he was talking about how he is so accustomed to like yesteryear in terms of okay, I gotta make an album, I gotta put a single,
Don't
I
work
gotta
like
you
that
know what
no
I'm
more.
saying, I gotta work this single, I gotta hit the what's that, promo tour. So it's like it's nothing outside the box, you know what I'm saying? And while they still managed to get a number one or a top 10 song or songs, but you know every time I hear people or read, it's like, yeah, it's Wale, but it's like, no, it ain't no but. Like if dude is making good music, then show him some props. You know what I'm saying? Like leave all that sideline shit out there. I think Wale is the Terrell Owens of music.
Yeah, he is, man. His attitude and he whines.
Yeah. So I
He still
I
want him, bro. Yeah, he
yeah.
still want him.
So I think of Wale. Um, I think somebody that's underappreciated and not really given enough props, I would say Fat Joe. And
Yeah, without a
I'll
doubt.
say because, Fat Joe's ear for music, ear for talent, you know what I'm saying? And I think that now that what I'm saying, Joe's gotten older, and he still wants to make music, whatnot, but I just think that his collective body of work and what he had to endure on how he was one of the few New York artists that like adapted to okay, the South is here. I'm not gonna be one of the guys that say, fuck the South. All right, let me
He
go
gonna do a
do
lean back. You do lean back.
I'm gonna go do a lean back. I'm gonna go do, say like a make it rain, you know. I'm gonna go do all these other songs, and I'm still New York to the core, but I got flexibility with my flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ingratiate myself with others, and I'm gonna allow myself more longevity in the whole process. So, and he battled 50. He's one of the few people that made it out of that. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah, unstable. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And just his history, even with Big Pun being the first, you know what I'm saying, Latin rapper to
yeah,
go platinum,
big,
you
yeah.
know, being
R.I.P.
instrumental in that, you know what I'm saying, R.I.P. Big Pun, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of
That,
them
yeah,
things,
man.
man.
His first album, that was that Don Corey. What's it really called? The
Don Cartagena.
Yeah, Don Conner G. That's a classic. Definitely a classic.
Even you know, what I'm saying, Big Pun album, I still listen to it from time to time, you know what I'm saying?
He got classics on there too. Hell yeah. He's a rapping motherfucker,
I'm
man.
sitting there thinking, man, if you know what I'm saying, Pun, if Pun would have made a couple more albums, would just been alive, you know, it's just like, man, like the possibilities. I mean, we'll be talking about Pun like we do a game right now, where it's like you have a guy who has like so many skills, so many flows, so many pockets of flows, and it's just like he could rhyme fast, rhyme slow, give you introspective, like he give you everything.
Hell yeah. Words that deep cover when they murdered that shit.
Man, listen, man,
They got songs with the OJs and shit. Like,
man,
come
Big
on,
Pun,
man.
man,
Right?
Big Pun was such a problem, dog. It just
Yeah.
like, man, like who is this guy? You know what I'm saying?
Capital Punishment was R.I.P.
So,
Big Pun.
yeah, R.I.P. Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? Bodiqua all the way, man. But, yeah, so Fat Joe definitely needs to, you know what I'm saying, get his props a little more. And the last person I was really struggling on because there's so many contenders, you know what I'm saying, for this last spot all the way.
That shit
And
fucking tough, man. God damn.
yeah, because I mean, you just sitting here thinking about all the different eras, and you think about, you know, all the people who had a, you know, what I'm saying, impact, what the case may be. But
I was about to
this,
say Wale too.
yeah, but this brother we talked about earlier on the versus battle, but you know, Ja Rule's under like appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. After 50, thanks to 50. Thanks to that.
No, I mean, listen. I think that if the fans would have stuck by Ja Rule, it wouldn't matter about 50. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have your tidal wave of an artist that comes through off their first album with all the moteness and all the different type of you know what I'm saying, backing behind him. He had Dre, he had Eminem, blah blah blah. But the fans let him down. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna hold artists accountable for their own stuff, but remember when Meek was going through his situation with, you know what I'm saying, Drake, and he took too long, and then by
Yeah,
the time he started
response. It was
coming
too
out,
late. It was too
and
late.
then some of the fans started to really turn on him, but he kind of dug deep and kind of, you know,
Got back
stayed
into it.
with it, stayed with it,
He
stayed
dropped the
with it.
champions, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think that, you know, I think Ja Rule, it was a matter of bad timing because you figure by the time 50 came out, he really going at him hard. Ja Rule had a 4 straight year run, hit song.
Songs in the
So,
summers, yeah.
you know, in my opinion, it might get to the point where fans were kind of like maybe tired of him, maybe. You know what I'm
Probably.
saying? It's like every single time, oh, it's a new Josh song. Oh, he's singing, he doing this, he's doing this, and maybe 50 was like a fresher. You know what I'm saying? He was like a breath of fresh air. And it turned out that 50 was doing some of the same shit Josh
He
doing,
turned around, stole this whole
the
little
same
get on
flow.
R&B cadence and shit like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
probably could have been a thing with that. Cause I'm thinking about over time when like clap back and shit came out, people wasn't even checking for y'all like that. It was kind of like done at that point. And he
and
tried to.
then and he had to take that year off, and then when he came back, with the album Ruled, and he had New York on there. He had Wonderful with R. Kelly, and then what's that? And the Shanti. He had other songs. Got himself back up a little bit. So when we talking about Ja Rule, man, we definitely got to give him his honor and his praises because, you know, in my opinion, he was Drake before Drake.
Oh yeah, oh hell yeah, without a doubt.
Everything you hear Drake doing now, Rule was doing that. And
Same gang,
listen,
yeah, you know,
Rule was
right.
making. Listen, and not to shit on Drake, because I know everyone gets sensitive about Drake and Hove and everybody else. I understand. I don't want to offend none of those listeners or the viewership. We don't got no beef with them. We just stating facts. Like when you compare Rule and you're comparing Drake, yeah, Drake has the numbers. He's one of the biggest stream artists, whatever. But when Rule was out, Rule
He
was
was
selling. He
platinum,
was selling units,
multi, yeah,
three, four,
multi-platinum.
3, 4 million easy, and
He
that's
probably got a
just
diamond plaque somewhere.
listen. That's just in the U.S., brother. Rule was selling units, writing songs for Mary J, J-Lo, going #1, easy. And I'm not talking about top 30 rap. I'm talking about top 200, the actual Billboard,
Yeah, yeah.
top top 40 songs mainstream. It was Rule on there. Rules on the MTV Music Awards, dancing with J Lo and all that stuff there, where it was him and Nelly, maybe Hove. Outside that, it was no other hip hop artists on there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely had them
So
summer hits for sure.
no doubt, no doubt. But again, back to what we were talking about before about artists adjusting. Ja Rule had to adjust when he
But he
came
do it.
out. When he came out with Jay Z and with X, everybody try to put him and X together. He had to establish, okay, I could still ride this train, or I could try to make something where I could separate myself from DMX, where we could still exist, but we
Together,
have our
yeah.
own worlds. So it takes a great MC and it takes a great person to understand. Okay, well, let me just switch this up right now. I still have this in my core, but let me go ahead and switch up my flow right quick, so I could separate myself from whoever that I'm being compared to. Especially if you got the look, and you got the sound, everything is damn near the same. You gotta do something different.
Yeah, I think they tried to do on like some DMX, like fucking Tupac try hybrid or some shit like that with y'all. That was definitely a label was trying to put some image together from them and shit. Yeah. It's
Yeah, so I just hope that those brothers get their shine and they get their respect that they get, man. But before we roll up out of here, man, this has been, like a great music nerd type of, opening up. And, I definitely look forward to, more pods when we really get into our whole, music bag. And if not the next one, definitely the following one, we're going to get into our top beat makers of all time, because top beat makers, top DJs, because there's nothing like a great DJ, nothing like a great producer, man.
especially in this day and age. And them,
They
in
they
this day and age, they
listen,
eating now.
listen,
They making these
DJs,
artists.
DJs, producers are like barbers. If you get a good one, you keep him. You know what I'm saying? And if he weak,
Yeah,
it's nothing like a whack barber, nothing like a whack producer or a whack DJ. It's just like once they hear you, just hurry get them out of here. You know what I'm saying? But they should be fully appreciated. We definitely gonna get into that bag right there for sure, because it's so like dog, like
That's a
even
lot.
dog even with the versus battle, I was thinking like, yo, a lot of Jada Kiss like guest appearances, or especially all those Rough Rider albums. You start thinking about Swiss Beats and the
Switch was
shit he
the
made,
architect. He was the architect of that shit.
no doubt. And my favorite producer is Timberland. But I definitely give my love to Swiss Beats, because when he came into the game, he was a
Same for
problem. He
He
was a
was.
problem immediately.
See,
Immediately was a
see,
problem.
you know the crazy thing about it, like just about every producer got a sound almost. They got their and they stick to their sound. Sometimes they might blur out. Sometimes they might get a little help on a beat or something every now and then. But they stay to their sound, bro. Just like a Mad Lib or Alchemist or even Timberland or for Neptunes or some shit. They still stay to their core. You can say, "Oh, I know this. Yeah, that's how that's real beat right there." When this is something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they got the signature tags, and I think that when Timbaland and Swiss Beats, Neptunes, they really separated themselves because it was original sounds. They didn't really sample like that.
Yeah.
Swiss started to sample a little later. Tim started sampling hooks a little bit, but the core of the beat is original. That's what set them apart from Alchemist, DJ Premier, Ninth Wonder, was that Mad Lib. Um, you can go on and on with the different type of, you know what I'm saying, all the, what's his name, Havoc. Havoc
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
beats, you
yeah.
know what I'm
He makes
saying?
it up, you know.
So you know, a lot of guys they got their own imprint, they got their own sound, but you know who's the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? And even the guys that actually do a lot of sampling, like a Knife Wonder, you know,
He
heat,
rap
you know what I'm saying,
music,
heat
yeah,
makers and all that.
yeah.
It's like that's a that's a that's a skill as well because you got to pick
Gotta
the right
listen.
sample, the right
Word to
flip,
Kanye. Yeah.
right? Yeah, Kanye as well. You know, can't forget about Kanye. So, you know, it takes a lot of work to, you know, what I'm saying, create that flip, create that bass line, you know, snares and everything like that, just to kind of bring everything all together. So, I definitely look forward to going over all that because there's so many dudes that got so much heat,
I think
man.
I'm gonna pick one from a different region, the South, the West, East Coast. Yeah.
So, you know, I know this has been a pretty, you know what I'm saying, heavy music pod today. And I kind of want us to end on music business, man. You know, we've been talking a lot about the, you know what I'm saying, Black Lives Matter. We were talking a lot about, you know, black owned businesses, supporting black owned this, black owned that. I think it's very important that in conjunction with that, that people that are in sports, entertainment, as well as music, they need to start doing great business with each other. You know what I'm saying? All these black executives, you know, they need to start doing right with their artists. You know, I think the age of artists getting fucked should be over to a degree. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if a lot of artists, if they really pride themselves on the business aspect versus trying to come up with the hottest song, or they're trying to get the hottest IG page, or they're trying to get the hottest car, they try to get the hottest chick that's on OnlyFans or whatever. If they focus on their business and understand what their brand is, like, dog, do you realize a lot of these rappers don't even own their name?
Oh
They
hell
don't
yeah,
even
but
own their likeness.
it's trademark. Sometimes when you come to these record labels, well, if you a blank fucking canvas, you know that you a blank canvas, and you might got something going for yourself. But we gonna say how we gonna remix and take that shit to the next level. We gonna give you an image. We gonna put you with this person right there to give you a sound. You gonna work with this producer right here, and we gonna go out here. You gonna do that. And you gonna do what we tell you to do and make this money. And when we finish your ass, we gonna cut you or keep you hostage from the label for a long time. So all you gotta do is fucking tool and make money and shit. It's crazy. It's
Yep.
fucked up.
Especially when you don't speak up for yourself, when you're not more inclined
Read those
on your
contracts.
on your future, or just even before the contracts, like even before anything gets written,
Do
you need to
research.
you need to put it out there immediately. Like, okay, for us, for like an example, right? Let's say 8 months, 2 years from now, you got one of these top networks, whether it's Barstool, whether it's Loudspeaker, or you know,
Spotify or
Spotify,
something.
whoever. Let's say they come to the table and say, "Yo, we want to get down with y'all, man. We want to see what's going on." And our whole thing is like, "Yo, this is a license deal first and foremost. You don't own the logo, you don't own the name, you don't own the IP. This is a license situation, and you know that's the only way that we gonna get down.
Yeah, let's
You
work
know, we,
together, not
you know what
for
I'm saying?
you.
We're going to control the merch. We're going to control, you know what I'm saying, online presence. You know what I'm saying? We don't mind working with you, but you're not going to control us. Or even if there's an outstanding situation where it's like, okay, we're going to pay you XYZ dollars. We're going to help you build yourself. So for 2 years, we'll control everything, but once that's up, we give everything back to you. It just depends on how you go about, the
It's
whole
gonna be that
deal.
little fine print that you
It's
ain't
gonna be
read all the
it's gonna
way.
be the fine
Something.
print.
Need
So
something.
it just really depends on the deal, but you have to set the tone.
Yeah,
And
definitely a bidding war. I say a bidding war. You put it out
yeah,
there, you're a free agent, because when it's a bidding war, like you seen like the Drakes and like I don't know, like the Joe Buttons and shit like that. When people was fighting and clamoring for you, that's the best interest because you got more leverage. I say.
and I think even if you don't have leverage, man, you you still have to put it out there that you're not gonna just take anything just to get that check. You
Just
know
to
what I'm
get
saying?
heard, yeah, get that check,
Right.
yeah.
And worst case scenario, listen, this may be like a little cliche, but sometimes it's always good just to bet on yourself. It's all right. Listen, all right, press all these CDs up on my own, or now you don't even have to do CDs no more. Hey, listen, I didn't, what I'm saying, did the online presence. I did this on my own. I already put XYZ dollars into it, and I'm gonna win. What I'm saying anyway. So, betting on yourself isn't a bad thing. Does it take a lot of hard work?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, no doubt.
That
I
leg
mean,
work, hell yeah.
we are living proof of it. Like hosting this podcast isn't free. You got your different, platforms and your different partners that kind of help you and everything like that. But in order to really take your dream and take it from the soil and really build it up, you you got to invest. So even
Yourself,
if
definitely.
even if you have a corporate partner that comes and they wanna fuck with you because you got a great YouTube presence, how about you tell said label, hey, my YouTube page is already copywritten. It's under me already. You can't have none of my YouTube. You can't have none of my show money like that. Now, again, if you want to get in, all right, it got to be 85-15. It got to be 70-30. Either way, I got to be on top. I can't let the had a label be on top, but I will always go and reference when I was listening to Ti, and he had P on there, and Master P was talking about how he sought out, Michael Jackson's lawyer. He said, "Hey, what do I need to do to get to try to get the best deal? You need 200 racks to go to the label, get an 85-15 deal. Boom, boom, boom." They weren't really giving them out, but P came into the game with his own money. So again, working hard and coming into the game, even if you don't have the necessary money, but if you got the content, if you got songs, that's collateral. That's
And
that's that's part of your worth. So you coming into the game with
you
something
know,
like
something on the table, yeah.
I got all these songs, or especially if you nigga, if you can make beats and rhymes, like I'm like a man, I could do it all. I could engineer, make beats,
And get my
and
yeah, get that
and I can
publishing,
rhyme.
definitely get
Yeah.
that publishing check,
So,
yeah.
you know, it's just that's why, like, even right again during this whole pandemic, I hope this whole pandemic hit the reset button on everything. I hope these artists wake up. So if you don't have a merch store, build your own merch store. We're gonna eventually build one. I
I
don't
don't
care if
understand that, dog. It's the day and age. You do not need a fucking record label. Like, if you do think you do this shit from that time when that shit was real relevant, or you just lazy as a motherfucker. Like, this is the time you can get out there and make 100% profit on everything you do, like, and own all that shit. Just
yeah.
get the right people backing behind you. This is the simple fact. You just, I don't know, people just rely so much on labels and agents and all this other shit, man. You can go out here and do all the legwork and shit yourself. Yeah, like you said, it's gonna be harder, but it's gonna be worth it at the end.
Yeah, and listen, everybody's not gonna be superstars, man. Everyone's not gonna be Rihanna or Drake or everyone's not gonna be on every commercial or in every magazine. But it doesn't mean because you're not in those publications that you're not successful. Like, do you
You
know
still
how
got a
many
following. Still a
dog?
style. You still
Do
got
you
a
know?
following.
Do you know how many independent guys are making more money than all these major niggas? Like I
Currency for
said,
sure,
like I said,
definitely.
you got the currency, you got Larry June, you got Tech Nine,
Yeah,
E,
hell yeah.
you got,
My
you got,
father.
you got E40 making music independently, getting this money all day, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for a long time.
Look, even Snoop had to wake up and go independent.
Later, yeah, yeah.
All these guys have to have they've I'm saying built this legacy while having a corporate partner and realize that especially now during the whole internet era,
Yeah,
starting in 2012 ish, 13 ish, where hey
yeah.
listen, we can make more money on our own. We don't need that advance check. We don't need to we need to break out of that whole
I need, yeah. Stop taking
corporate
them
mentality.
advances.
You know
Stop
what I'm
fucking
saying?
taking them advances because people fucking themselves up. You get that advance and you won't get no check no time
Listen,
soon.
but they not even paying advances like they used to anymore.
Yeah, times change now,
They,
man.
listen, niggas ain't getting $2, $4 million advances anymore. You lucky to get 200 grand.
Hell no. They don't have A&Rs at these places, no artist development and shit.
You
Like,
any
hell,
of
this
that.
shit is flaws, man.
And if you're in the 360 deal, they get a piece of your tour, piece of your
Everything,
merch,
merch,
piece of your commercial, piece of that.
you know,
Like you can't
out,
do
everything.
nothing.
You know, you handcuffed until that contract is fulfilled.
But you see, but you have this little smoke screen. Like you got the Migos, you got Cardi, you got all these other people who are in 360s,
300,
and
they on that
and
landing, yeah.
and because they're put on this high pedestal, they're in these commercials. That's only a few of those guys, and even their checks. I'm pretty sure if you ask Migos today, yo, do you rather be in this 360 again, or do you rather just be independent and get more of this money? I bet you they'll be like, yo, once our contract up, we
That's
gonna
it.
bounce.
And that's what it happens most of the time. These artists will be on these record labels for a set amount of terms or so. Once that shit is fulfilled or whatever, most times they won't even go back to another label. They stay independent on their own. That's why I
Yeah,
fuck with like Young Dolph. Young Dolph came off the game already talking about independent. He might sign with a label, they got the right price. But yeah, man, it's all about working for yourself and being your own independent contractor. Definitely.
yeah, man, you gotta be, man. So it's just like taking matters into your own hands, and all you black executives, again, I'm gonna name the Puffy, Birdman, Hove. Y'all need to do better business. You know what I'm saying?
LA Reid, all you
Yeah,
motherfuckers, man.
but more, but
You know the
directly,
babies, yeah.
Puffy, directly, give Biggie and his family back all his publishing. If you're about Black Power and listen Black excellence, give him back his publishing. Give Mace back his publishing. Hey Birdman, won't you give Lil Wayne
G
all his
Dep,
publishing
look
back?
at what's going on with G Dep, man. Because last time I said, that man was homeless.
Nah, he in jail. I think he in jail for life. But like, do right, man. Just because you came up in an era that say niggas getting robbed and you put on this funny contracts in, you don't have to do it. Master P didn't do it. Jay Prince ain't do it.
That too,
You
yeah, 10
never heard
toes
stories
never.
about that. You never heard stories about their contracts getting raped or they getting bad business advice or whatever. So if they can do it, all these other executives can do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
a fact.
as you alluded to earlier, independence is ultimately going to be the game. And if you're going to choose to have a corporate partner, make sure you got firm, control. Make sure that you're up, not down when it comes to whether it's 50-50. I wouldn't even say don't even do 50-50 no more. Those days are done, dog. It needs to be 60-40, 70-30, 85-15,
Anything you
90-10.
take a majority of the fucking splits
Anything.
and have a lawyer
Anything.
with you to overlook that shit.
My nigga, listen. And even if you do all the work and they just gonna pay for what's that marketing and they're gonna get whatever cut they're gonna get, okay, cool, whatever. And also, Master P brought up something really, really important. Fuck these financial advisors, man.
They gonna
Like
rip your heart. They ain't gonna
they
fucking rob you. You gotta trust them. Gotta have two. a financial advisor for the financial advisor.
But again, if you're gonna have one, you gotta make sure that you watch this nigga. Like, listen, it's okay to pay your own bills. It's okay to manage your own money. Now, if you're gonna get someone that's going to, you're gonna go and have a consultation. Say, hey, listen, I got this going on. Boom, boom, boom. They can go to your local, what I'm saying, bank or credit union for that. Go to like a what you call it, like a wealth investor. You know what I'm saying? You can go and talk to them and they can give you their opinion, whatever. But no one should be managing your actual
That's why a lot of
day-to-day
these artists
activities.
got fucking tax issues. The
Yeah,
fucking people in
yeah.
charge ain't fucking doing what they supposed to do.
Especially sports guys. A lot of sports guys, especially once they finish playing, they realize that they thought they got like a little $50 million, $70 million nest egg, and they realize only
20
5
mil,
million,
5 mil, some
or
shit.
10 million. They're like, yo, where'd all this
Yeah.
money go? You know what I'm
And some in
saying?
their pockets, in their family's pockets. That shit is dumb.
You know what I'm saying? Commission's not that much, goddamn it. Taxes ain't that much, goddamn. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But listen, man. This has been amazing. I appreciate everyone turning in to episode 2 of like the Mental Vault podcast.
Sir.
Once again, we're on
Oh,
YouTube at Elite Hustle Media TV. Check us out. We will be on all of your streaming platforms pretty soon. We're waiting to get everything verified, and once we get the green light, we're gonna send out the feeds and let everyone know how to listen to us, whether it's on Stitcher, whether it's on Google Play, what I'm saying, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. But right now, YouTube, holla at us. Again,
sir.
if you're on Twitter, holla at us here on Twitter as you see. IG, you guys there too. So we really appreciate you guys. And like I said, we're independent, funded, no type of backing. We're gonna grind every day, man. So, and I appreciate you once again.
Sir.
We had a lot of technical issues, especially with the weather and
Man, no, man. This last
storming.
few days, these people just don't even fucking know, man. We're winning and then making this episode, man. We supposed to have this episode done like
4 days
4 days
ago.
ago, yeah. Basically, like, yeah.
Listen, it's been like personal stuff,
Life, man.
storms,
Life, storms.
life,
Life
everything
storms.
going on, man. Crazy stuff, man. But episode 2 and 3 of Off the Dribble will be out this weekend. We got a very special health as well. I'm going to be the personal guinea pig for the health as well, because all our brothers that's 30 and up, we need to tighten up.
Oh man,
And
I'm knocking on that damn door, man. I got one
but
more. This my
dog, you
last. This
too.
my last. This my
Come
last
on,
year.
man.
This my
Come on.
last year. After the
Come,
15th, this my
dog.
last year. Like, oh
Easy,
my god.
easy for a person that's 170 pounds soaking wet. Say the guy that's, yeah, exactly. I
Anything can happen, man. They say I was reading. They say you hit 30, man. Anything can happen, man. You can have a heart attack.
listen.
It's off the strength.
All,
I'm like, oh
all
my
I'm gonna
god.
say is, and I'm gonna give a small preview. All I'm gonna say is, 4 years ago, I was in peak condition. I was hooping, was killing. Like, the speed was there. Of course, jumpers always there. I was just in great shape, and then I got injured. Then I got lazy, complacent, started doing wild eating, all this stuff. Listen,
That sound like what happened to me,
all
man.
listen, all our brothers of color, I don't care what you are, we gotta tighten up, and we're starting with yours truly. We all gonna be, saying, like accountable to each other, and I want y'all to tune into that, because it's like an intervention, so to speak, and everyone who is in that little box can really relate, because I'm gonna show y'all exactly what type of vices that are present that you gotta shake. Like this right here, brother. This is what's gonna get me off of super sweet teas.
Oh, and a lot of this too, man. You gotta drink this. I drink a
Yeah,
lot of this,
yeah,
man. No
yeah.
sodas, no waters, all that shit, man.
So That's gonna be on the Off the Dribble episode 2. We got episode 3 with Ant and I. We're gonna come right back at y'all. So we're gonna probably drop a 2-pack with that.
Stay tuned.
And we're
Stay
going
tuned.
right back around. So we definitely appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we're gonna holler at y'all very soon. And I appreciate you, brother.
Ain't no problem, man.
Yeah,
I'm
no
saying
doubt.
hitting that another dope episode. Just trying, shameless plug. Go get
shit.
your ass some money, y'all.
Shout out to Jaquan.
Stream this shit.
All right, nigga.
All right, man.
All right.